So today I'm going to be doing a little tour of the dorm called Anam Global House at Korea University. If you guys are curious, make sure you guys stick around and let's get started with the video.
Think twice, don't say me, but I won't let you be my own demise. Hey!
So the Anam Global House is one of several dorms on campus meant for international students. For my 2 weeks in quarantine, I was in the Anam International House, not the Anam Global House, for clarification. And that one isn't actually done being built yet. They've been building it for a while, according to some people that I've talked to. So that one, I made a little bit of a tour about that. Completely off topic from this. This video is going to be specifically about the Anam Global House. It's a little bit confusing just because there's so many names. There's other buildings like the CJ International House. I know a lot of people from my program were also in that dorm. Now this is the entrance to the dorm itself. There are a couple of emergency exits on the first floor that I actually don't know where they are. They probably should have told me, or maybe my RA who I live with, they should have told me or something like that. But I mean, there was an orientation and I kind of missed it just because complications and stuff. So there are several amenities, I'm hoping I said that word right, on the first floor, including the laundry room and the kitchen room. The laundry room has the dryers and washers that you need to pay for by having a prepaid card. You stick that card into this little machine and then you put in the cash, charges it up, slap that card against the laundry machines and the washing machines, and bam, you got your clothes running all nice and clean. The kitchen itself has a few lockers that are dedicated for each person. So say for example, since my room is a triple, right? Each one of the 3 people that were supposed to live in my room would have their own locker. Of course, it's only me and my one roommate, so we end up sharing those 3 locker slots. You can put anything in there that isn't basically food, because then that shit's gonna spoil most likely. And there are refrigerators that the whole entire building shares. There's refrigerators specifically for the doubles and the triples, and the ones that are meant for the singles and stuff. Of course, there are stoves and sinks for you to wash your food in, cook the food, of course. And there's a little dining room next to the kitchen where you actually sit down and go eat. Of course, just like any other dorm, anywhere else, there are quiet hours in this area. I believe it's after 12 o'clock, so not too bad. Back home, I think at my dorm in the US, when I first moved in first year, I think the quiet hours were actually after 10. It's kind of nasty if you ask me. Usually past 6 on the first floor, you can find your RA next to the security guard. They should be there sitting down on their laptop, doing their own thing. You can come up, talk to them about anything that might be bothering you. Let's say there's a mess or you spilled something in the kitchen, or I don't know, there's no toilet paper in the restroom. Go to the RA for that. If you have problems with your roommate, I don't know, go to the RA for that. There are RAs for every floor, I think, don't quote me on that, and that's basically just the first floor. Other things to know is that there is a little printing station too. I do believe you also need a prepaid card for that, which needs to set up an account or something, or I think you have the account and you put in money, and then with that money you then pay for it, kind of I think what Staples does. I think there's a little different though. You actually use your actual card. You have your little mail room. You do get your address before you actually move in, and there's actually a little sign by the elevators that you can use for the actual address. Use that address when you want to ship anything to here. You should be receiving your mail eventually, and you get it and shit, nothing different. Now I myself, I live on the 3rd floor of this dorm that's all a boys floor. Something that is a bit different from the US. The floors here are separated by genders. Just in this building, I believe, because I believe in CJ or some other dorm they do have them how the US does. How one side of the floor you have boys, and then the other side you have the woman. Something to note here, in case you're maybe curious about that. And I believe every floor does have a lounge the same way that my floor does. We actually just got new couches yesterday, which is pretty interesting. You guys can see there. It is a little area where you're not supposed to eat, but you can study there. I personally go in there just to talk to my family if I don't want to bother my roommates and such. Now the rooms themselves, it sounds a little bit privileged for me to say, as of course a student that has food on my plate and is getting an education, but the rooms are a bit small compared to the US dormitories that I'm used to. I remember my dorm, my first year at UC Merced, was fucking massive. There was so much space. I could legit go on the floor, do exercise and shit, run around, and literally not bother my roommates in terms of personal space. While here it's a bit smaller, it's a bit more reserved, which is understandable. So yeah, the size of the room is something to know if that particularly concerns you. If you really need like a big amount of space, and I don't recommend getting the triple. You'd probably be better off with the single. I haven't actually seen the single or the double room myself, so I can't really like vouch for you there. I got what I can show you, so my triple room. I do know that each room does come with their own sink, a restroom, and a bathroom or a shower little box. It is really just a little box. Back in the dorms for me at the UC, there were dorms that had their own, where you had like, it was kind of like an apartment thing where you had your rooms and then you did have your own separate restroom with the stalls in it. But my dorm back in the US, the way it was is the whole floor had multiple restrooms, and the restrooms weren't attached to your actual room, but like your room would be like a few steps away. So you'd walk out from your room, you'd walk into the restroom. Here, the way it works is you have your room, of course, with your desks and your bed. You have your little shower area where you go in, put the curtain, shower, and you have your little restroom. You walk in, close the door, take a dump, whatever you gotta do. So that's the way the restrooms and stuff work here. The sink is out in the open, so that's just all to show you. There's a few more shots of like what the rooms here have to offer, specifically the triples. Of course, you got your little bunk bed, you got your little desk, you got your little power outlets at your desk. Some outlets don't actually work. I probably should have asked my roommate, who's the RA, about that, but it's whatever. It's like the first day I was trying to, when I was like about to go to bed, I wanted to charge my phone next to my bed, but the outlet next to my bed doesn't actually work. I should probably ask him about that. Now, a couple of other things to know that is different from this dorm compared to other dorms like back in the US is, again, like the gender difference in like the floors and stuff. It's so vast that you even have your own elevators per gender. The left elevator is meant for the men and the right elevator is meant for the women. Pretty different, you know, really not used to that. I remember back in the US, you know, yeah, you had your separate rooms for men and boys and girls, but like you were allowed to like bring them over, you were allowed to like have visitors and stuff. Here you can have opposite sex visitors inside your room. Another thing also is that you're not supposed to be actually eating in your room, like technical meals. Like if, like, let's say you had an instant ramen, or you had like something that you ordered like In-N-Out, or a meal from the cafeteria, you can't bring that into your room and you can't eat it. You're not supposed to. The kitchen is meant for that, so you're supposed to go into the actual like kitchen room or the dining room, eat your meals there. My RA has told me though that I can eat my snacks there, so that means like little sandwiches, a little fruit, bags of chips, ice cream, things like that, I guess I can eat. So usually I'm like snacking instead of having meals. But personally, me myself, if I want like a rather larger meal, since I don't really cook that often here because I haven't gotten used to the full system of getting my food and cooking it here, I personally just go down to the little convenience store down the hill called CU, and I usually just eat there. It's just usually what I do. I think that's pretty much everything that there is to say about this dorm. There's a security up in front who, like, if like you're a little new and you need assistance too, and the RA isn't there and you do speak Korean, you can ask them for help. The RA there, of course, for like security purposes too, so if things are a little bit off, they will take action, I hope. This dorm itself is located like next to like that big long windy road that comes up around Korea University. So if I put that little map up on screen, right, you have the entrance where it's like where there's that main building and that main little grass field. Many people that post pictures do go there to take pictures, and then if you keep going, you take a left. You should be going up this windy road, and up that windy road, eventually the Anam Global House dorm will come right up. Here's a little shot of like the road that like you might want to come into. You got like a little stoppy thingy, like not all cars can enter, but yeah, that should be your dorm. Here's a little back shot of the dorm too. That sounds a little weird. A little back shot. Winky face. That's pretty much all there is to this dorm, honestly. It's a bit different, like I said, from the US, like I've said 20 times, and I honestly kind of prefer the US dorm just because they're a bit more like free and stuff. But like honestly, I'm fine with how the dorms are here, and I'm really enjoying it so far. But yeah, as for this video, right, I didn't just want to sit down and talk because that wouldn't be exactly a vlog. So I do have something else that I do want to try, and it's again photography, like I wanted to do the other day. But of course today, it's a little bit earlier. It's the 29th. It is 11:47, as you guys can see right there. So the sun is still bright up. I can definitely get some nice bright shots. But of course the shadow cast, or like the light, is a bit harsh. So if I like walked out into the shadows, as I said, very hard shadows face, a little bright actually too, so let's walk back into the shade. So because of the time, I wanted to see if I can do something a little different from like what I did from the last video. I am gonna try to find some spots to take photos, but I'm not gonna specifically explore like campus. I'm gonna like explore or like look around these little parts that I've been to before, close to my dorm and close to like the convenience store, and I'm gonna try to see if I can get 5 shots that you guys like. So I'm gonna take a bunch of photos, edit them, and I'm gonna post them side by side. I'm gonna post them through this video, and you guys are gonna let me know if you guys like them or not. I'm hoping that they're good and they're solid, and if they actually are too, not only am I gonna include them in this video, I'm probably gonna be posting them on my Instagram. If you guys aren't following my Instagram, links in the description. Make sure you guys follow me. I usually post like my photography things on there. I'm always posting when I have my next video up, so you guys will be up to date with that kind of stuff. Well, let's start this little adventure and look around then. Photo number 1, secured. I was so sure I was gonna like the spot just because of the fact that there's you got these little guiding lines, right? And it's like a really long trail. I don't know, it's a dark setting, It's hard to fuck up the lighting there, so I was pretty sure about that. So I could try doing something here, but I don't know if that could be too harsh. Let's look for spot number 2. This is technically the third photo spot, but for the second shot, because I tried something over here, or I tried getting a shot over here. Did not like the photo though, but I did like the one that came out over here. I did try incorporating some sort of some sort of like light photo that had some harsh shadows, because I've tried taking that before and it's usually really rough to do, but I think it worked out right now just because of all the lines there actually were here, and it kind of did set up a story that like, out and about, and obviously the sun is blinding my face. I also didn't get that little effect of like the little rainbow cast on my face, which I kind of did like. It was from the glass shining through right here. Let me see if I can show you guys. So you can see when standing here. See, there you go. Man, that looks cool. Up there is the hill, and the dorm is literally right here, right? And there's the fucking convenience store. You can literally see the dorm right there. That's the big one right there. You just walk down this hill, and you get to the little convenience store that I keep mentioning. It's honestly worth it. It started 12:40, and I started shooting at about 11:20. So honestly, I'm gonna go back inside. I'm pretty fucking hungry. I'm gonna eat my little lunch here. This is the kind of stuff that you can get at the convenience store. Get it for about 4,300 won, and it comes with a whole bunch of meat and stuff. Only getting this one specifically because it has a bunch of protein. Unfortunately, I only ended up getting 2 photos out of like 5 that I wanted. I took another one, but I didn't really enjoy it, and afterwards I was looking for some more spots, and I couldn't really find anything that I really would enjoy taking photos of. I guess maybe it just means that I need to like expand my palette of photography. I usually do some kind of like portrait kind of thing, of a full body style thing, so maybe I just need to change it up. I honestly should have probably made a bet, right? But I'm not gonna go out to take any more photos. I was hoping that like maybe if I ended up taking the 5 photos that like, I don't know, I wouldn't really have getting anything besides a bunch of Instagram posts. So that's most likely going to be the end of this video. I really need to post like this next Friday because I haven't even filmed and it's already Sunday. That's going to be the end of the video, guys. If you guys really enjoyed today's episode and aren't subscribed yet, make sure you guys do subscribe so you guys can be up to date with my next episode. Episode 2 of the Korea series is basically over. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Time to eat up.